Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy Sunday. Hey, everybody. It is show number 200. Yes, it is. Show number 200. Golf clap? No. Don't give me a golf clap. Don't give me a golf clap. Why not? Because really, this is just me rambling on in my basement, in my man cave studio kind of guitar. I'm not going to call it a studio because I haven't really recorded as much in a long time. I've been concentrating on playing live and learning songs and doing all kinds of things that have to do with performance, and that's big. That's big. I think a lot of musicians concentrate on recording, and putting out music and stuff like that. I think there's a whole other side to live side that I'm gonna get into a lot more this year. A lot more this year. But yeah, thanks guys. If you're congratulating me out there, or those of you who do comment on my show, or do talk, do you know, give me some feedback. Um, yeah, it's my 200th show. Yeah, and like I've said before, when this grew out of the pandemic, the show actually was inspired by a guy named Tom Bukovac, who I discovered during the pandemic because a lot of us just kind of went towards putting out more videos, doing whatever we can. I lived in this um, my favorite place in the world, by the way, right here where I sit. My favorite place in the world. I would spend, much to my wife's chagrin, um, I would spend my entire time down here if I could, because this is the place where I have the most fun. I repair my guitars, I modify my guitars, as you can see here, um, and build my hot rods. And I don't need a garage for that. I have this place right here, and I also practice and hone my skills to be a better guitar player and a better person. But yeah, just 200 shows. Basically, I think I've said before, not 200 weeks, because at the beginning of the pandemic, I did a lot of daily stuff and a bunch of different stuff, lessons, that kind of thing, and then I gravitated to just the weekly show on Sunday. We were also doing back then in the pandemic, my family was doing a live stream every week, so there was a lot of work we did on that, because I was basically, we did 4 songs in our live stream, 2 for Kaylee, 2 for Jacob, and and then we did some specialty stuff in that. If you remember that stuff, if you were that a fan for that long, but then I used to just do my show as well on the Sunday. But you know, it was God, lost my train of thought, as I do always. It was inspired by Tom Bukovac, who was a guy who just sat in his garage with his iPhone, because when you're making videos on YouTube or Facebook or whatever medium you're watching this on, Instagram, you can get right into the whole thing. And I follow a lot of guys that get into the whole camera angles, shots on here. And then I saw this Tom Bukovac guy an amazing. If you don't know who he is, look him up. The reason why I even stumbled upon him is I followed another guy named Rhett Shull, who's another Nashville jobber guitarist that tours, and he basically said, check this guy out on one of his videos. He said, check this guy out. He doesn't noodle at all. It's all planned out stuff and just all very out of his own head. Perfect. And I put it on. The first thing I put on was some perfect thing he played, and it was just like I was hooked right by then. But then I was also hooked by the fact that he was just sitting in his garage with his iPhone, and that was it. No camera angles, no one shot, made it up off the top of his head. So that's what inspired this show, basically. I just come here every Sunday and ramble on about something. Grab a topic and I go. Speaking of grabbing topics, none of you people out there, I shouldn't say you people, none of you friends out there gave me any hints for the 200th show. And that's okay. Everyone's busy this time of year. Did I work it out that the 200th show would end on New Year's Eve? it is New Year's Eve today. Perfectly landed like this. Maybe I should go out and buy a lottery ticket today. But yeah, it just worked out that my 200th show is on New Year's Eve, which is amazing because I didn't do the math way back in maybe September or October when it was coming. I didn't do the math at all, but amazingly, it worked out that way. The last show of the year is my 200th show, and basically, um, I wanted to just reflect. I guess I'll just since no one gave me any hints, I'm just gonna reflect on the year, and I'm hoping 2023 was a good year for some of you guys out there, or everybody out there. I'll be quite brutally honest and frank. It wasn't a great year for us and our family. Well, I'm gonna say we still have our health and all the important things in life and our love and gratitude for all the things we do have. Um, Financially, it was a bad year, and I think a lot of people are feeling that right now, especially in Canada, where we. And needless to say, if you're a Canadian, you know what I'm talking about. You don't need to. I don't need to elaborate. This is about music, but yeah, it was a rough year. So we have a lot of high hopes for 2024. That's all I have to say, and I wish you guys a great 2024. Not done yet, but yeah. So let's take a look at 2023, which was a sad year. We lost a lot of people in the music industry, as we do every year. Um, I made a list. Hey, look at me preparing for a show. Look at that. People that weren't guitar players or not known as guitar players in a Rolling Stone kind of way, if you know what I'm talking about. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. We lost Tina Turner, a huge icon. We lost Tony Bennett, Sinead O'Connor, and I mentioned this person. Not many people really care about this person, but this was a big person in my wife's Angela's life, and just musically, when you're a kid, Roger Whittaker. Uh, I think all our parents may have listened to Roger Whittaker in some time. Sorry, I gotta turn the light off here. I saw this light. I usually switch this light off for my shows. Not that it makes a huge difference back there, but it was kind of shining over my shoulder. Roger Whittaker, yeah, some great songs and just a pioneer that we lost. But then we lost a whole pile of guitar players. And to start off the year, uh, beginning, it's funny that so many of our heroes are passing away now, and there's some that you just totally affects you. And In previous years, that for me that was Neil Peart. Of course, if you watch the show, Eddie Van Halen, and there have been quite a few. One honorable mention this year of two of the people that passed away that are unsung heroes. David Lindley, the multi instrumentalist who played with Jackson Browne most notably, but he also had his own his own solo career. Really, I felt that one because he was an unsung hero and just a brilliant player. And the other one was Bernie Marsden of Whitesnake, who was an original member of Whitesnake. And really, the success story of Bernie Marsden is he left Whitesnake earlier before their huge explosion into the scene. But his little piece of history was he wrote "Here I Go Again," and he probably had a mansion because of that song. And that's great. That's a great story in the music industry. I love that stuff. So those are my two honorable mentions. Other people that we lost, Gordon Lightfoot, of course, Canadian icon. Another Canadian we lost, Robbie Robertson, and of course Denny Lane from Wings, another unsung hero, if you know who Denny Lane is. And but the first and last people that of note in the guitar world touched me the most, and that was kind of strange. It was the first death of January in January 2023, and the last notable one for me, anyways, in December. So the first one was Jeff Beck, of course, and the last one was Miles Goodwin of April Wine. Both of which I've done shows on, so I'm not going to get into it right now. But I just wanted to remember them because that's 2023. Any others that you thought of that I may have forgotten about? Just throw them in there. It is a year-end show, so we are reflecting a little bit, and I reflect on all my shows too. But it has been a great year for music too. I have to I want to start it on a pretty sad note, but it has been a great year for music, live music in particular, because I think concerts are in full swing now. Um, Sadly, a lot of our heroes are having to cancel shows because of illness and that. I've talked about how I feel about cancellations these days, but if it is a health issue, I think maybe the show should be canceled, and you live on for another day. Sadly, I don't believe, in my opinion, Aerosmith is probably going to continue. I'd love to see him. I still have tickets for my September show that I'm hopefully going to be able to use, but I think it's getting close to the end for those guys, and more power to them. Another sad one was the two Canadian shows for Kiss are probably never. Toronto and Ottawa are not going to see those shows because Kiss is done now. So Kiss, in the respect, is done. But other than that, an amazing year for live music. The stadium tours, rock and roll is living and breathing and surviving and will never die. And live shows are just incredible. Even people outside of the rock, hard rock realm, which is what I'm, you you know, Taylor Swift, incredible artist, keeping the fire alive for live music, and damn good show. My family's a huge Taylor Swift fan, so I have to mention that. But other than that, how did you feel about the year? Comment for me and let me know. Let me know what you want me to do with these shows, because I think about going live. I think I went live once a couple years ago, and I don't know, no one tuned in. But if you want to be a guest on the show, by all means, we can record that, or I can figure that out somehow. And just coming up for this year for me, I plan on playing live a lot more. Um, that all depends on bookings, of course, but I plan on having a healthy live um, journey. I just want to play more live and inspire other people to play live. I've inspired my students to play live. It is the greatest thing. You don't have to be playing in a stadium. You can be playing in some filthy club across town. You can be playing in someone's basement. You can be playing outside on your front porch, which people do once a year. I didn't get a chance to do this year, unfortunately. But yeah, just get out there and play live. And if you're not a musician, go out there and see your friends play live, or see a band that you like play live. Go out and see tribute acts. Go out and see a tribute act. Guys that just go to put something together to just honor one artist. Amazing. This is just amazing. I played in a bunch of tribute acts in my past. Aerosmith and Van Halen to be, the two that I spent the most time in. But go out and see live music. It is the best thing ever. I like to thank everybody out there who watches me play. Let me know if you want more lessons. I got tons of lessons that are on TikTok. If you want to follow me on TikTok, I've got my YouTube channel, which I will be pumping up a little bit more. I've got a couple other endeavors that I'm going to, all guitar related, that I'm going to be introducing probably in the next week for January. One is basically a new approach to guitar lessons, a little bit different approach. I think anyone can show you how to play something on a video like this, like I have done many times for you guys. But there is also a whole other side to how we do all this stuff, and I'm going to get into that. Hey, thank you for watching me. If you watched all 200 shows, like a few of you out there may have, I love you. Who are you? If you've watched every show, or at least a good chunk of the shows, put your name down there. Don't even say anything. Just say, I'm part. If you're part of the 200 club, if you're part of the 200 club, I want to see your name in the comments. Okay, this week or whenever you watch this show, if you watch this show. I played this guitar today and played an April Wine song because, hey, I'm Canadian and, you know, a Leaf fan and all that kind of thing. I'm also a fan of, as I could talk about guitars because it's my 200th show. I am also a fan, if you haven't noticed, of 80s Japanese guitars. That's why my main guitar for my shredding and playing live and all this kind of stuff is this Fernandez FR65. FR stands for Fernandez Revolver, if you're keeping score. This particular guitar I bought brand new, and basically it has, the only thing that's original is maybe the paint, the neck. I think it is the original tuners, but everything else has been changed out on this guitar because it is a hot rod, and I encourage you to build your own hot rod rather than go out and DeLong McQuaid and buy just that guitar that everyone else has. No one else has one of these. Well, there's a lot of people on the internet that actually do show me the exact same paint job. I have two of these of the exact same paint job, but no one has one with a, and here go the specs. Seymour Duncan JB in the bridge. Seymour Duncan JB Jr. in the neck. FU, build your own bridge, completely custom to my specs. Floyd Rose bridge made by Adam Reaver from FU Floyd Upgrades out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or somewhere near Philadelphia, I think. Sorry, Adam. I don't know exactly the town you live in. Adam's an amazing guy. If you call them for help, it's his cell phone number, and he picks it up, and he's picked it up a couple times for me just driving down the road when I had questions. And amazing guy. Floyd Rose D-Tuna in here. Flip it over. We've got the big block. I suggest anybody who plays a Floyd put the big block in. And then I have also the Tremolo No, which is, I'm okay on this one. I know, Adam, you don't like it that much, but he helped me out a lot with that thing. Anyways, the Treble No, and a couple other things that are under the hood that no one really knows about that I'm going to divulge and tell you, right? Titanium, this bridge actually has titanium saddles, titanium screws, titanium nut screws, all courtesy of Floyd Upgrades. Titanium is amazing. Spend the extra money if you have a Floyd Rose and put the titanium parts in. Why? I knock wood when I say this. I don't break strings anymore live as long as I'm maintaining the strings. I still don't put the strings on for a long time, but they bend better. And with the New York XLs, which I use, it's like a match made in heaven. The titanium parts are incredible. They don't cost as much as you think. If you want to buy the titanium saddles for the Floyd, they're like $800. That's more than I ever spent on this entire guitar, probably. But the saddles, if you just get the little squares inserts, you Floyd guys know what I'm talking about. Get those. Try them out. Just try them out. Anyways, anything else under the hood for this guy? This is a long video. Sorry, 200. I can do it. I have the license now to make a longer video today. Anyhow, under the hood under here we have the Eddie Van Halen EVH, what's he call it? No friction, or less friction. The less friction pot. Why? Because this is my on-off switch. I quickly put it on and off and find the sweet spot where we can, and it stays there. I like my volume control close to my hand. A lot of people don't like it. They move it away because they knock into it, but that's where the perfect spot for me. And the EVH pot is amazing. And then the 5-way selector switch looks like a normal 5-way, but it's actually what we call a Switchmaster E from Stuart McDonald. What it does is basically, without having any other switches on the guitar, it actually taps the coils as we switch it all through. So we have full humbucker, we have one coil, single coil bridge, then we have two single coils for here. The JB Jr. is a humbucker stacked, so that is a single coil neck and a double coil neck. So I get all those combinations, and that's pretty much everything you need in a shred guitar to get all the sounds you need to play Van Halen and Whitesnake and all that stuff we do. Cool! thank you for joining me on my 200th show. 201 will be next week, and we'll be back on tap for another 200. For sure, there will be another 200. Anyways, watch my projects: Bridge on Fire, Threesome, Jacob D'Souza music. Jacob has got some incredible new songs coming out this year that I can't wait for you guys to see and hear. Anyhow, thank you for being here. I'm not going to name the honorable mentions, but I will give a huge shout out to Mr. Andy, who you knew who you are from somewhere. Whitby, Ajax, is that where you live? And you make that huge drive out to see us play. Love you, Andy. Andy came out and showed off his guitars to me at one of our gigs in December. Top of the season to you, Andy, and your family. And all your other great friends out there that, come out to see our bands play. And Happy New Year, everybody. I hope everyone had a great holiday season, even though it was a tough time for a lot of people. A lot of people went without gifts this year. That's okay. It's about the family. And we had a very lean Christmas here, and it was still awesome. Still awesome. Special thanks to our friends at Mesa Boogie, for every sound that you hear is through a boogie head. Happy Sunday. Happy New Year. Be safe tonight. It's New Year's. Take it easy. Bye-bye.